Did you comb your hair?
His hair looks good. Get out of here.
Just look at him in the mirror.
No, I asked him twice.
His hair looks good. Don't shame him. What's up? You're dressed up nice.
Yeah, I didn't know the protocol so well. So then fuck it. Sometimes you gotta bring the penguin suit out sometimes.
Yeah. I dress like a Russian gangster
Yeah,
wherever
we know.
I go.
We're well aware.
That's Vicky's son.
All right, family and friends of
Yeah, they said Matthew was in a suit. I thought, you're in a suit?
Nah.
You in a suit?
Yeah.
I was like,
I didn't know. I didn't know how formal or
who
informal.
was in a suit? It's this Matthew was in a suit.
I
Yep.
don't know how informal or formal, so it's like that. Might as well come overdressed.
They never wear dresses, ever.
Well, come overdressed and underdressed. So.
When she renewed her vow, she had pants on. She didn't
Really?
wear a dress. So you look handsome. Guys, clean up theirs.
Yeah. How gentlemanly of you. You're wearing pants.
Girls like a shut thing. So when you go out looking for a girl, that's what you do. You fool them. You put a nice outfit on, and then when they go out for your next date, you're like this.
That don't work on girls nowadays.
It don't?
No.
What is wrong with those girls?
What? I'm not gonna get into that.
I know. Yeah, like what's wrong with them?
family and friends, please feel free to have the seat up front. Everyone, please gather behind the benches. Feel free to use those benches.
You're first.
I'm first. Oh, we can sit.
Yes.
What'd she say?
Feel free to use the benches.
Oh.
The Lord is my shepherd, there is nothing I shall want. In verdant pastures he gives me repose. Beside restful waters he leads me. He refreshes my soul. He guides me in right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk in the dark valley, I fear no evil, for you are at my side with your rod and your staff that give me courage. You spread the table before me in the sight of my foes. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Only goodness and kindness follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord for years to come.
Very good. For those of you who don't know the meaning of Haya, this is how Mom would address everyone. Mom wanted to make it to 100, but she was short by 6 months. So we decided to celebrate her life on her 100th birthday. She's survived by 4 children, Brenda, Bob, Cindy, and myself. Her 9 daughters, Vicki and Mary. Predeceased my husbands William Schaefer and Curtis McMillan. Predeceased my son Donald. She has 13 grandchildren, 10 great-grandchildren, and 1 great-great-grandchild. Mom had a love for farming, crocheting doilies, and needlepoint. She made all the curtains for our house. She made quilts for all her children. She was a member of the VFW, where she held the office of treasurer. She was also a member of various senior citizen clubs, and she loved to go out dancing. She made the best apricot pie. She would make chow chow, pickle relish for everyone. Enjoyed playing the piano, picking fruit in the mountains. She earned the name of 90-foot foot, which Diane can verify. You scared her to death while driving. Being chased to the house by 2 roosters, believe we had rooster the next night for dinner. She played fishing games in Las Vegas. almost broke the pole, riding the roller coaster in her 60s at King's Dominion. She was chased by a crab while fishing, eventually caught it and threw it in a pot. Two of her favorite restaurants were Golden Corral and Steak and Shake. After Dad got sick, times were tough. She made spaghetti and we didn't have sauce, so she put ketchup on top. Recently, my grandson asked me for spaghetti. I didn't have sauce, so I put ketchup on the top, and he told me, "This is the greatest." She would make livers and onions for Halloween. And if we didn't eat it, we didn't go out, so this was her way of saying, trick or treat. Mom was always the strong person in our family. If we did something bad, we had better run. And usually it was to our dad for hugs and kisses. When we were young, she would have us weeding the garden, picking berries during the summer. After we grew up and left home, we would return to visit, and we'd still be out there picking beans and digging potatoes. Mom was strong. Cindy called her Wonder Woman. After our dad died, she kept us together, made sure we were fed, had clothes on our backs, which she sewed, and had a roof over our heads to keep us safe. Mom went to work at Naval Research Lab, where she later met and married her second husband, Curtis. They happily continued their lives farming. Upon his death, she moved to Texas to be near Brenda, whom I thank for taking such good care of her to her death. We will now have the Lord's Prayer sung by her late brother, Terrence. Okay, that's you.
I passed his baton.
Okay.
Who's got the song?
Lord's Prayer.
Is it going now?
You gotta connect it on. It's not through.
It's not coming through.
Okay.
Well, we got 3 people that have it on their phones. We can all play it together.
Okay. I think because I'm connected to it. All right.
If anyone wants to say a few words, you
Anyone
could.
want to say a few words?
Up to you.
I do.
Go
Well,
ahead.
okay, go ahead.
Aunt Helen was my favorite aunt. You're a kid.
I know, we should go too.
Just stay back there. Anyway, she was probably the best aunt in the world, and she did so much for me when I needed stuff. She did make the wedding dress for me, and I just want you to know that she could be a very stern woman, but she was so loving, and she was so playful and so wonderful. So she was like the best aunt. That's all I want to say. That's right. Everybody say something.
I think Mom was such a strong person, with, having 5 kids and supporting us all and everything and what she had to go through. But I think she was the strongest woman I know of, and that's what I always thought of her as the superwoman. And I just remember when I was planning on getting married, and I couldn't afford this wedding dress that I wanted. And Mom said, don't worry about it, I'll make it. And so she made this beautiful wedding dress, the veil, the trowel. Everybody in the VFW made the silk flowers, the bouquets, and the hair pieces. And that was just a very special time. But Mom was always there for us. Anytime we really needed that, she was there and she helped us.
And she hand sewed every curl on your dress.
I know, she did.
It was
She
gorgeous.
And I want to expand on something that Debbie talked about the going to the
Like a roller coaster and a
no, the
fishing
slot
boat.
machine. So we go to out to Las Vegas, and she went with her friend Ivy and our mom Evelyn, and she was so excited to be out there. And she discovered this new machine. It was a fishing game, only it wasn't just one machine. It was like 5 of them. And you had this big screen, so she made everybody sit down, and everybody had to play together. Well, the first time she sits down at it, you could either push a button or you could have this thing look like a fishing pole. She grabbed the hell of that pole, and we thought she was gonna break the machine. And then she finally got off of it, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I think we were going back to the room, and Debbie says, look who's over there. We looked, and here she went back at that machine again. So that was Aunt Helen. She was just wonderful, wonderful human being, and we loved her, and so thankful that she allowed Mary and I to be a part of the family.
What Aunt Helen also did was through the VFW, she established where they made stuffed animals and collected stuffed animals and presented them to the police, so that when a police was first on the scene, the little children wouldn't be so scared. But she established that in our area. So
That's impressive.
yeah, she did that. Yeah.
She would go home and watch all the donated ones, ready for distribution.
Yes.
Anybody else want to say anything?
Jen. Yeah. This involves you.
I was like, what did I do?
What's about to happen, so I'm just saying.
So, the first one was when we were in Florida.
and she was telling us about how she was a diabetic at that point. And we look at her fridge, and there's Hershey bars, regular Coca-Cola,
Anything chocolate.
And
All around the house.
I remember I said, like, Grandma, like, what are you doing with this stuff? You're a diabetic. And she's like, yeah, well, you know, when you get to be like close to 90, you can eat whatever you want.
Well, that's also where I learned I got half of my sweet tooth from.
And then there was,
And this one too.
and then when we went to Houston, I get my sweet tooth at night, as I usually do, like 8, 9 o'clock at night. And we had just eaten like a large family dinner at Debbie's house. And so I'm like, well, let's go to the Dairy Queen. And me and Jen go to Dairy Queen. And we would usually eat something like a large shake, but we got medium because we figure Grandma wanted a banana split. And we figured we're going to have to eat leftover
We're gonna
banana
have
split.
to help her finish it.
Like, what was it, like 2 whole bananas?
It was massive.
3 scoops of ice
This
cream.
big.
And we're sitting at the table, and like 3-4 minutes into it, she's like scooping the bottom of the pan, like for like the melted ice cream, because she completely destroyed this entire banana split
By herself.
by herself. I was like, I didn't know, I couldn't have even ate that by myself. So.
Grandma was one of a kind. I wish I would have seen her chase a rooster around. We never experienced the disciplinary side of her. We were, I don't know if we were spoiled. Grandpa McMillan spoiled us.
She
for
made
that.
us pick potatoes.
I
Oh, she
don't
made
remember that.
me
We
pick
made
potatoes.
you pick potatoes.
Yeah, she made me pick potatoes.
I do remember string beans, but I think as a kid we kind of thought it was fun.
She tricked us into it.
She probably did trick us into it though.
My husband's theory, when she tells you to dig potatoes, you take the shovel, you break a few, and that's it. You don't have to do it anymore.
Make her look like you have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
And I would like to thank everybody for also trying to remember my daughter, who I wish we were in Texas right now celebrating Grandma's 100th, but we're not. Come here, babe. She was super excited, but she knows that Grandma was old, and she made it 99 and a half. Mommy cries a lot, doesn't she? But anyway, Grandma said when I called her, it was the day probably after she was born, because it was 6 something at night. Anyway, when I called Grandma to tell her that Adriana was born, we did not have a name, I don't think, for her yet, because both of my children went a full about 36 hours being no names, because we didn't plan on the names. We didn't know if we were having boys or girls. Anyway, when I called Grandma, she said it was the best birthday present she had ever received. And I told her we were trying to think of names to name her, and I said, well, my husband said something about naming her after you, and she went, oh no, don't do that to that poor child. And I was like, well, Grandma, and I was like, your middle name? And she's like, oh, that's even worse. So anyway, we came up with Adriana, which is was a name that we both kind of liked. And
So what's the middle name?
Instead of naming her after Grandma, we combined my dad's name, Donald, and then one of Jonathan's late sisters, Julia, so it's Donia. So anyway,
What's the middle name?
Donia.
Her middle name is Donna?
Yes. Anyway,
Beautiful middle name.
yes. So we made her name up.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Jenny, you can get your picture and your flowers.
I just have a little bit of an announcement. Give me just 2 seconds, okay? So family and friends from all of us here at Quantico National Cemetery, from the grounds crew all the way to the director, we just wanted to say we're so deeply sorry for your loss. Immediately following today's committal service, your loved one will be laid to rest in section 20. Now I want all of you to know that this is your cemetery. We are open from sunup to sundown every single day of the year, 365 days. Our gates never shut. There is no check-in procedure or pass needed to get in. Please come and go as you'd like and stay as long as you need. If ever you need a reminder of where your loved one is laid to rest, there's a kiosk located to the right of the double doors of the administration building. All you need to do is enter in a last name and a map will print for you. This does conclude our service here. I invite you all to come pay your final respects, then immediately enter your vehicle so we can lay your loved one to rest. And we invite you all to come back around 4 p.m. when the interment will be complete. Please, I want you all to drive safely and God bless you all.
Okay, thank you.
The 4 o'clock, okay.
Because of how, this is kind of what we have to say, because you guys' interment is relatively quick and it's not in our active burial section, give our crew about an hour. Go eat lunch and come back, yes. Yeah, go ahead and help, go eat lunch and then come back, okay, just because we have to say 4 p.m. because of our script, but just because of where your loved one laid to rest.
I'm guessing we're gonna do family photos.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we put in a map already.
Beautiful, and then you have one in your folder as well. In that packet. So what it is if you go down, you kind of know how we turn right at that T.
Yeah.
Instead of turning right, you would have turned left to go that way.
Oh, okay. Very good. Good. Well, thank you.
It is, we take great pride in it,
Right.
absolutely. We have both, so we actually have a section right over there, that is that field right there, that's all flat stone markers. And so goes back in the 80s.
I swear, like, I
So
started
now we
she's
try to
like,
get away
it's
from
like,
that.
Grandma, she needed to grab a pen, she opened the drawer, candy, open the fridge, candy, by her bed, candy.
Well, they knew. Both of them knew. Yeah, great.
She probably wouldn't remember much.
She does though, she remembers
Really?
the trip to houses, yeah.
She was pretty young.
Cause she remembers she was sick, remember she had been in the hospital? I wasn't there, but.
I know Amy.
I go to Texas, she had been there,
Right.
she got a ear infection.
Yeah, see?
Probably from a lot of the, with the pressure. Yeah. And then the climate change. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I got her, I think I had her down for a year. That was all there.
Yeah, that's difficult.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn this off.
Okay. Yes, please, because if I get a phone call, it's gonna break everything.
Why 3,000?
It probably wasn't good because I had connected last night to test
I
it.
don't know why you. Why 3,000? Why 3,000?
My grandma's birthday reminder popped up. My grandma's birthday reminder popped up.
Okay. All right, are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
So was this in, where was it, Pisgah, you said?
Pisgah.
Yeah, the house doesn't exist.
You said you couldn't find it?
Well, either they tore it down, I kinda knew where the property was, they either tore it down and rebuilt, or they did a lot of add-ons and
Right.
changes to the outside.
So what year is this?
That was, I think, May of 57.
That was before she married.
So that would have been.
Oh, this one,
In like
that
the
was probably
40s?
before she got
Yeah,
married.
the early.
That one.
Actually, no, because yeah.
Probably the early 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Late 30s.
Yeah, she was born in 2030.
Oh, wait.
40.
We took a photo of the.
That was before she
That's
got
the time
married.
when Mom got
that
that
photo
photo of her, that
Okay.
single, I had that, was before she got married, because they did that special thing to their faces.
Oh, what the color?
Yeah, the color.
Was
And
that
her
makeup or was that from the?
And her
No, something they
hairstyle.
did, because
I
they
think
had a
the
white
picture.
photo, and
Yeah.
there's something they did special with their faces with that color.
Her picture in the phone.
And you see how they dress and
Yeah,
her
just
hairstyle.
Yeah.
That looked like
Was her Robiolina.
I know, it's so crazy to imagine, like, would they have had a car when she was like, I don't know, I'm like, can you imagine like living through all of that, from automobiles
My
to
mom
watching
did, I mean,
planes
my
go?
grandma didn't drive or anything. My
That's
grandma
crazy.
didn't drive.
That's
They didn't work
crazy.
outside the home until after that.
That
That
World
World
War
War
II
II era where they had to
is when
start
women
working.
started going into work, yeah.
I remember my grandma, they just had one car and she had to wait.